Yep.
Let's call the meeting to order at 6:10. So good. September 14th, Board of Selectmen's meeting. Short agenda tonight, hopefully. In the public forum, appointments. We have 3 appointments. One for the Cultural Council, Town Engineer, and Gas and Plumbing Inspector. New business for approval of the boundary description, maps, and re-precincting of the town as required by the 2020 census. Continued discussion regarding perambulation, and then an executive session for Chapter 30A, 21A, Clause 6, real estate.
I think since Selectmen calls not joining us tonight, we won't be making a decision.
Okay. Okay, so we can forego the executive session. That's good. All right, so let's open to public. Is anyone here in the public that would like to speak to anything that is not specifically on the agenda? Anyone? No? Okay. Very good. We'll jump to appointments. So the first one we have is for the Cultural Council. We have Laura Tully Rothman, who's stepped up and willing to do that. Is anyone here to speak on that behalf, or do you have any notes from anyone regarding this?
She's a former member of the council. It's a little bit strange because cultural council statute actually has term limits, but they're for consecutive terms.
Okay.
So she's been on the council for a while, and now that Nancy Curran's being term limited, she's being asked to come back on. She's already confirmed she'd like to serve another term.
Okay.
Cultural council is of course delighted.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve Laura Tully Rothman as stated.
All right. Second. Any further discussion? Being none, all is in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. Secondly, we have town engineer. So David Langley from Hoyle Tanner and Associates.
So the town engineer has been the vacant position. Our former town engineer has been filling in since that's what this is a few months back. We had a hard time getting applicants. We did get interest from this firm, Hoyle Tanner and Associates. Staff and we board chair satisfied with current multidisciplinary and community.
Cool.
They are slightly more expensive than the last one. We'll see what they have to do. So it's gonna have to be tested. So I would recommend that we can to be town engineer. Number 30th, 2022.
Is there an option to renew that term at the a month
That's
before?
why I'm suggesting whether they want to return.
And see how it goes.
See how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we did with the previous. So they are a little bit more, but I don't think their numbers are out of line.
No, they're not.
Our fees are probably a little
So they're,
archaic, but
the main rate is like $20.
Yeah.
But they also don't have travel charges. That's like travel charges.
right. And he came from far away.
Yeah, I think we should move forward then. It's good. We need the role filled. So
Yes.
make a motion to appoint David Langley of Hoyle Tanner and Associates.
Second, further discussion?
Joan?
So is this guy part of a group that we would have access to, or is he?
Yeah, so there's a whole firm, they're multidisciplinary. They do everything that we would need them to do pretty much. And David being in point of contact. If there's something that's somebody else could do at a lesser rate, then maybe it's not that person. No, that was the David. Or in some cases, you might need somebody more high powered than David. In that case, it'd be a little bit more expensive. But David would be, the main engineer. Yeah.
And did somebody mention something about him being close by? Is he
They're out of North Andover.
North Andover?
But he's not charging a travel fuel surcharge, is my guess, whereas the previous Dennis was a fuel surcharge.
He was coming from.
He was
West Newbury, I
years
East
before.
Newbury.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a haul. So
Yeah.
North Andover is certainly closer.
Well, I'll miss old Dennis, but
You might
Sounds
be-
like-
you might be the only one.
What's that?
You might be the only.
That's what I was just gonna say, it sounds like it might be the way it was. He was quite a guy. Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Okay. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. Approved. The third appointment is for the gas and plumbing inspector. We have John Ryan.
Yep.
Who's here with us tonight. And this would be to appoint him after James Dow Senior has resigned, retired, and moving on to bigger and better things.
I'm presently the assistant in Dunstable, but I
Right.
really never really needed it much, so.
Okay. All right, how long have you been the assistant? For quite a few years.
In Dunstable, I've been the inspector in capital since 2004.
Okay.
The assistant here for probably 15 years.
John did the work in my own house, so I can advocate for
Okay.
its quality, hasn't busted, so that matters to me.
And you're willing to do this? You're not being coerced or you're not being twisted?
You're willing to do the work and not being,
Yes.
yeah, your arm's not being broken.
All right, well, I think that would be, when you're familiar with it, so I appreciate that. And, that being said, I just, motion to approve.
Just approved, as stated.
Okay, second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Great.
Do you need me here the rest of the meeting?
No.
You're good.
You're good to
If
go.
any questions, I'll. Wait.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
John, see you again. Yeah, thank you.
Take care.
Okay, new business. First is the approval of the boundary description maps and re-precincting of the town of Dunstable, as required by subsequent to the 2020 census. So it's still one precinct, so.
She's recommending the state of one.
Yep, your town was 6,000, with less than 6,000 inhabitants, you qualify.
So anything further that needs to be discussed on that? Or?
We need to address the one precinct, we have to approve the map, which is not, it's not a very constructed map.
Basically shows the town.
As one.
It's a big block.
This is the map.
Yep, provided by the Secretary of the Commonwealth, who obviously worked very
We
hard.
have to approve the legal description map, which is on the back page.
Yep,
There's a three-prong motion.
Okay,
Motion to keep the town one precinct, approve the map, prepared by the Secretary of State's office, and vote to approve the official legal description.
the legal description is giving a route by route. For example,
Yeah. that's-
yeah,
the
the
marker located on Maple Street at corner of Stonewall where Danforth Horse Barn is located. Marker located at intersection of Maple and Pine Streets. I know exactly what those are. I can attest to those. So it is a description of the town boundaries, thus creating the single precinct of the town.
Yeah, there's 5 pages. of this.
Yeah, I will not involved.
No, so there's nothing else.
Do we need individual motions or can we?
I think we can take one motion as I did it, both keep the town one precinct, to approve the map, prepared by the Secretary of State's office, and the legal description.
Is there a motion as stated?
So moved.
Second? Further discussion? No? No? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next. Need to sign. Continued discussion regarding perambulation. Well, I think they just described that perambulation in this document.
They did, I reached out to the boys, I mean, it hasn't been done, so you do it. I did talk to the boy scouts there. I just sort of wrote that.
Okay. I can certainly show them where some of them are on my side of town. If they want that assistance, they can reach out to me.
Yeah, it sounded like Phil was.
Okay, great. Yep.
So I'll
Okay. Okay, good.
Um,
The next item would be executive session, which we're
Maybe
not.
you just want to take a motion to delegate this task to the Boy Scouts.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
A motion to delegate this to the.
So moved.
Okay, from the 28th. Second. Favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's good. We have one set of minutes from August 31st, 2021.
I thought they were good, so I'm fine with that. I'll make a motion to approve the August 31st minutes.
All right, second discussion. None, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you, Jake. Town administrator's report.
And so we had a big milestone with the group on 15 projects this past weekend, which is put out.
Minus the little scare that we had, but yeah.
So all the technical groups, we still have to circle back and resolve the second legislation. Hopefully that can get done. With our meeting with Sheila, Representative Karen. In the next couple of weeks, so out of session right now. but that's the fact.
Okay.
Did we have a meeting with her the 28th, or was that?
So I got back to them and I said, how about the 28th or, maybe.
Okay. It's sometimes challenging to get answers from that office. So.
Yes, I have not confirmed the date yet. The bid opening date is, the Earth 97 stuff does need to be done.
Yes, sure will.
On the streetlight project, we're still waiting for National Grid to authorize contract items and change orders. 8 things outstanding. Our water operator, talking with Petro, possibly contracting them to provide water operator services. Our current contract expires coming in December. I don't see them getting back to us with feedback and interest. Or possibly consider hiring. That service, and then I guess the last option would be extend our current operator contract. Better cost or better service.
That's just staying with stormwater system like Swiss, right?
Small, yes,
Yeah.
small systems.
Would that have to go the route of hiring a real person that would be part-time position?
Yes.
Fairly pricey, I believe.
Very pricey.
Okay.
Possibly still cheaper than what the price.
I know there's a couple of things we're going to go over here, but it's almost like regionalizing with Pepperell and Groton. Is there a value in inviting their town administrator to a meeting? Or is that, how's that, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, so I've invited on the ambulance service one, I've invited.
Okay. Okay.
I'm waiting for them to ask me for data. So that I know that they're interested in considering this.
Yeah.
So far, I've just kind of going in circles a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of that. Not do all of it, but tell me what you can do.
Yeah.
Tell me what we need to decide if you can do that. So I want to say it's not serious. I don't believe that we can do something. Particularly with Pepper, been going around in circles for probably 5 weeks now.
Yeah.
Trying to generate a serious.
Yeah, 'cause the last two certainly circle around. Not sort of public safety, but fire and rescue, I guess, sort of an interesting.
Yeah, so-
Combination of things that we're working on.
Right. So, I mean, at the ambulance committee subject, we had talked to Tinsboro. I didn't work out, just like chat with them.
Okay.
It seems like when I talk with the Pepperell Town Administrator, something could work because they want to add additional staff. We were with them. That would make that possible.
Yeah.
So I think that's a serious option. I just don't know the hurdle they need to get over to to evaluate that.
Okay,
And then, at an earlier meeting, we asked us to reach out to Groton, about reaching out to the fire department. Their chief to say, sketch this out. And tell us how
okay.
it's to decide. That we both want to pursue.
And their ambulance, or they have ambulance service in Groton,
Yes.
but they're too far away, we feel, or it'd be a weird mix to have Groton be your
I mean,
Depends on what side it's.
if they were going to put
Yeah.
something up there, or if they put something closer to us.
Yeah. Two new fire trucks, so we probably reposition one to Groton and replace the ambulance in that bay, right? It's sort of like a balancing act. So,
I mean, it may just work out on the ambulance subject, that Trinity is,
yeah,
Well, I mean, at least you're doing the due diligence to make the proper decisions. Takes two to tango. If they're not willing to do it, we have a choice.
we did, the Groton Dunstable School District finally decided to re-ask us for rescue act money. So we sent them. This is what we want to know.
what was the ARPA? Is that
That's
ARPA?
the,
All right, it's just using the acronym.
rescue act, or
Yeah, it's using the acronym. Sure.
American Rescue Plan Act 2021.
We love a good acronym.
so once we see their justification, we think advisory, what is stuff. we can take. Based on the justification. And, start the budget process, we have the solicitations are done, some of the accurate. Advisory boards, talking about override.
Okay.
We even get a free cash.
No, it'll be between 4 and 5. Not as much as the last couple.
But it's not. We lost.
It's not 7.
It's not 7.
Then we looked at some of that, the subdivision maintenance issues, and they're not all the same. So, like Skytop Lane and Brittany Lane, they seem to be responsible for maintaining their common areas. There was nothing set forth in the subdivision documents to require them to farm.
Okay.
To
Does the town cut those public spaces, so you don't touch them at all?
We should be going out and just making sure.
Right, yeah, because that certainly impacts the road. I know Skytop is a road that's in disrepair, right? They haven't cleaned it up yet.
Alexander Way does have a homeowners association. They are responsible for their area. This is a much more than most document. Goes on to say that they don't do step into it.
Yeah.
Assess. There's some individuals that are in town, individual homeowners.
I think Chapman Street's like Alexandra, where it has an HOA.
Chapman does have to.
And then
Yeah,
Or the new ones. What about there?
Bear Hill is the lot owners are required to maintain.
It's not an HOA specifically though, right?
Not an HOA specifically. Same with Chapman Street.
so I sent you back a question then, can the homeowners in those streets,
But I think specifically with Alexander Way, since this is a more robust description, I would say that you could do something like plant trees, but.
okay,
So it looks like from that. It's
it is.
So.
Yeah.
Well, that's town-owned land, I'm thinking at the front of the street,
the other one,
Lake Street right there.
right here.
Yeah, that's because there's a big drainage basin right there that our friend Doug helped navigate those waters.
What's that?
On Alexander Way, the drainage basin that's in the back of formerly the Ravens property
Right,
and
right.
now Tully property.
It's supposed to be open space.
Yep, but it's also the, not myself, but other homeowners on that street have wondered why it's becoming very overgrown. I mean, it looks like it's all that big weed that just grows and grows and grows. So
Probably Japanese.
it's probably, I'm sure it's something like that. So they had asked, well, why isn't the town mowing it? Because it's a drainage basin that will help secure the infrastructure of the road. I said, I do not know the answer to that.
Well, because the town's not, this is,
It's town-owned land.
so this was granted as part of it.
Yeah,
Probably because they didn't know they were supposed
but they've done it before.
to. Okay, so I need to be on a schedule.
Yeah, so one thing I would say about the Alexander Road thing, and I mentioned the context that was ambiguous, is that when it was going through the approval process, the roads commission volunteered to mow it. But that didn't get set forth in the HOA.
Oh.
So the HOA got still the HOA.
Okay. Good to know.
Interesting. Okay.
So we, as these people, a resident of the street, because this could come up in that new subdivision up on River Street, can go onto town-owned property with their own machinery and cut. You might be surprised based on some of the characters here on my own street here. One of them just spent like $1 gazillion on a new piece of equipment.
So where's the basin? This is a railroad bed that goes right through
The,
here,
the
right?
basin is right, it's right in the back of
Oh, okay.
Tully's house, it's right there. Which if you go back and look at the old minutes, it was quite a hot debate for that basin. And it's where all the runoff for the street, and this past spring, currently there was a little bit of water there because it's finally wet. Otherwise it's just dry, but it's probably that Japanese knotweed, a little bit of goldenrod, but not much.
Okay. Well, that stuff just comes. All right. Is there anything else?
No, we were going to talk about that on River Street, which we used. I left it out for agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, agreed.
Have we ever heard back on the cell phone article? We never got the responses, right, for that?
The art, the-
Yeah, for the water tower. Okay, yeah.
Anything else? Anything else? You missed the public forum.
What?
What do you
Well,
got?
this is, I just would like to know, if I have not heard anything about a fall town meeting, is that not happening?
I don't know if we have anything for it.
Okay, well, that's, I didn't know, I was just curious.
Yeah.
I had a request, a CPA request. I don't even remember,
You need to replace our historical furnace.
what's that?
With a fire.
What's that?
To replace our historical furnace and the historical home building.
Our historical, I'm
I mean,
sorry.
restore
I
it.
can't hear it.
Replace the historical furnace in the basement.
Oh, yeah, good luck with that. No, this was a request to build shade structures over the playground, on the playground at behind Swan.
Yeah.
So,
Sort of like the ones up at Roby Park. Have you seen those? They're just like stretched material.
well, he's looking for community preservation money. And unless it's a permanent structure, I don't think that's anything that the CPA can pay for, but I did not go into that with him. I just said he wanted to know, what our deadlines were, and, I said that, I said it depends on, I said, we usually deal with these things in spring town meeting, and it depends on the date with code. Remember, these days, we don't know.
Yeah.
It always used to be right after Mother's Day, but anyway, he was just inquiring about that, and so I hadn't heard anything about a fall town meeting. I just,
Yeah, we haven't
Just
had
wanted
anything
to-
up.
I don't have anything.
And the charter's not ready.
Charter's not ready, it's not bylaws.
No,
have you heard, by the way, that the town of Groton is looking to do retail marijuana stores?
oh, are they really?
Pepperell will have one, hasn't opened yet, it's right by 7-Eleven in the Chinese food place.
Oh, really?
Perfect location.
Out behind where wasn't that
The old
store?
beverage warehouse used to
Yeah,
be,
yeah.
yeah, right there, it's that exact,
Oh, yeah,
building.
that's
Right near the rail trail, so.
good.
The only bylaw thing I'm aware of, that this planning board or not, would have to do with beefing up the ability of the town, building inspector, zoning enforcement officer, I should say, to remove signage. He needs the authority, according to the chief, to actually remove the signs.
Remove.
The offending signs that violate our sign ordinance.
No, yeah, it looks like, we're gonna have to write a sign bylaw because, we can't talk to a lawyer about it. We're just gonna have to sit down and write something. I don't know, I appear to be, well, I'm not a lawyer.
We can't talk to a lawyer about it, we got an opinion on this for the planning board last year.
What's that?
We got an opinion on this, coming before the planning board in Selectmen last year, what the options are.
Yeah,
Because, yes, as far as, but still, once again, it's, to write something like that, to make a decision on what we want and to actually write something like that is, are two different things, so.
Well, I think that you can get legal assistance to write something. It's like, which approach you want to take.
Well, I think the approach we need to take is we need to sit down, decide what we want, and write something up, and then give it to the town council and see what he has to say. We'll see how much, what's the word I want? See how much the committee is interested in, actually doing something like that.
Sure.
But I put something on. I stirred the pot a little bit. I put something on the Dunstable Facebook page about the signs.
That's the place to do it.
Huh?
That's the place to do it. Let it ride.
And, I have a lot of people that agree with me 100%, but there's the usual suspects I really were not going to be happy about it. And that's all right. I think it may have done a little bit, but the only thing I thought is, geez, maybe these people that I made, that were not happy with me, they might go out and put up twice as many signs as they already had now. But I don't think that's happened. So
Maybe
one of the
for-
places, the weeds are getting so tall that you can't see most of the signs anyway.
Maybe for spring town meeting, we can really go full Monty, try to get that.
Well, and that's right. I figure I should have got all winter long to come up with something, some idea. But, some of these sign bylaws, our sign bylaw is 2 pages long. Some of these sign bylaws are 25 or 30 pages, they just go on and on and on and on. It shouldn't be necessary. My one thought was to, if, the comment was made that Dana does not feel, like there's anything in the bylaw that allows him to go out and, do what he's got to do. And it seemed to me that if if we did put, you know, a lot of towns say, you come to the town hall, you get permission to put up a sign, no matter what it is, and if it's a temporary sign, which is a sign made of paper or, you know, plastic, it's one of those things you stick in the ground. You know, and it's usually 60 days. So if people come and they say, geez, I want to put up a sign, you get your permit. 60 days later, you know, you're told it's you know, you can do it for 60 days, and after that, you know, it needs to come down. If they don't take it down, then we would be able to, you know, we would have them on the list and say, okay, you know, this sign has to come down. But anyway, I don't know what the planning board is going to do about it or the father thinks something.
Don't listen to him.
Huh?
I just spent a week with him.
We all tapped out.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see what happens. It's, you know, we just gotta figure out a way. I mean, we determined that, okay, on your property, you can do, I guess, whatever you want on private property, but on the town property, that's the key.
Right.
And, you know, on some of these roads on Main Street, the right of way on Main Street is 60 feet. So every one of those signs that's, you know, along there would be considered on town property. And if we say, okay, you know, this is what you can do on town property, you can, you know, get a permit or whatever for a short period of time, but you can't, you know, leave stuff up there forever and ever,
Right.
you know? Anyway, yeah, people, it was interesting to see the comments. People,
I'm gonna have to check out that thread.
oh, you missed
Sounds
that, oh,
entertaining.
yeah,
Pretty good.
yeah, that got, there were 100 comments on that.
I bet.
Well, it turned, it morphed into some different stuff, you know, it morphed into sidewalks.
They always seem to do.
Yeah. And a few different things, but anyway, it was fun. I like causing trouble.
I did have one resident, I think we were talking about the last meeting about the closed loop potential idea for Hillcrest and the
Yeah.
water system. They just sent me a text saying, hey, there's 11 houses after Hillcrest that are on public water, which I just said, good to know. I didn't realize that. I don't know if that is influenced by our potential water plan options that we talked about with that loop. It shouldn't be, right? Like,
Well, we were gonna, the loop around the crest and coming back down Westford to Maine,
yeah,
so the 11 customers are.
past or like McGovern Farm that's on city, that's on town water.
Oh, yeah, well, it actually goes up to the Vermont.
Okay, I didn't know, so I was like, oh.
Yeah.
You were gonna extend Maine past the intersection of that was one of the side.
Yeah,
And then the second one, that's building two, the second one was the left go past, replace what's there, and then create a new one.
okay,
And create a loop, it's not a loop right now.
Yeah.
It just goes up there.
That ends. Yeah.
okay. And those
They
11
were
people
both-
being back to right.
Yeah,
They were both on the 250.
Yep. Because we still have a dead end that's up at the
You
end.
still have a
Still
dead.
the dead
Yeah,
end.
yeah, so it's just, okay,
but that pipe is like a 2-inch
it's
pipe
nothing,
as
right?
it goes up Lowell Street.
Yeah,
Yeah, trickles.
that could be influenced by the project that's being discussed up on that one, so. Yeah, all that.
Okay. All right. Someone just walked in.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I just didn't see.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Do I need to sign the map? Okay.
Notary,
I see a signature spot, so I don't know if you need to sign that or not.
All right, there was just a tab on it, so I didn't know.
I think she just wanted you to see it.
Got it. You see it. Lovely.
One big precinct.
Mhm. Okay, so. If that's it, then we will, motion to adjourn,
So moved.
second. In favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good,
Thank you.
short and sweet, sorry I was late. Had for 10 minutes earlier.